So, you want to talk a little bit about the choices of these players?
Sure. All right. Well, we'll talk about the blue team first. You got Livingston, Not Butter, Eloquently, and Sparta and Kilvian playing over there. So you got a really good pick. You got Alistair in the jungle, which is fantastic because he can come right out of the bush. He can do the headbutt. He can do the ground pound and really stop anybody from getting away. So the ganks are going to be a lot more dynamic this time around. Not Butter is going to be Zareth in mid. Going to be absolutely phenomenal there. He can put down some serious range, especially when he's going to go up against LeBlanc. LeBlanc's going to have to be really careful not to flash in and out too much because Zareth, once he locks down, he can shoot off. His Q and his W very, very quickly. Eloquently, as Jack's going to be good to hold off the top lane. He'll be able to to jump in and out whenever he needs to defend and block incoming attacks, and not just that, but he's got really great sustainability. Sparta, good choice for Sparta. I wasn't 100% on board with his Vayne play last time. I thought he took too many risks, tried to get way too close. I think for his kind of aggressive style, either an Ashe or a Caitlyn would have been a much better pick. But Tristana this time around, absolutely phenomenal. She can outrange just about any ranged character after level 16. She's just absolutely just ridiculous at that point. She's got that great jump dive that's going to be great to lock down Corki or Soraka, while Tarek, he's got that stun, he's got that heal, he's got the shield break. He's going to offer Tristana a whole lot of ability to put down some serious hurt on that bot lane. I think this time around, if Sparta can keep himself under control and not get too excited about trying to make the kills, I think they could really come out on top. Now, on the flip side, purple team, Soraka, Corki, Olaf, LeBlanc, and Mundo. Mundo is just devastating. You build that guy up with the health, and he is just unstoppable. You set that ult off, he can just completely regenerate himself in just a matter of seconds. So the longer you stay into combat with him, the less likely you are to win. LeBlanc is going to be just vicious. If she gets fed on Zareth in mid, or even on her creep score, you're not gonna be able to stop her. Olaf gonna be able to toss all that slow damage down up top. So Jax has to really be careful and be able to trigger off his stop damage as quickly as he possibly can. So that would be my prediction right there. Oh, and Corki, I forgot to talk about Corki. Corki, really good mid game. His early game and his late game they kind of fluctuate depending on the player themselves. But mid game, if he can build what Corki needs to survive, he will be absolutely brutal to play with. A Trinity Force on Corki would be a great choice to have. That outfits his attack damage, his ability power, gives him speed and cooldown. You can't beat that combination on a Corki. And Soraka, well, Soraka's support. As long as she's laying down wards, she's going in there with the heals and the mana for Corki, he will never have to leave lane, ever. Not ever will he have to leave lane.
Cool. Game started. That's my input.
It's game time.
Okay, so this is gonna be quite interesting to see how it goes. And actually, no, I gotta quickly fix my window because I can only see parts. Actually, wait, can I just do that? Ah, cool, that worked. Alright, cool, so now I can actually see stuff.
It tweaked it. Wow, now this is interesting. On both sides of the field, if you look at their items, pretty much everybody went boots and pots with the exception of the supports, who went with you went with your early regrowth, or I'm sorry, Fairy Charm, and your wards. Tarek this time skipped one ward, went with 2 pots, which is good. And Jax went with that cloth armor right off the bat. Really expected to take some serious heavy damage from Olaf. Olaf, let's take a look at his stats. He does 69 damage right off the bat. So he went pretty hard and heavy with those masteries. And he's got a pretty... he doesn't have as much armor as Jax. So Jax is going to have some really good survivability here.
Is this blue team planning on doing like a big mass attack with all 5 of their people?
That's what it looks like. They're definitely going to be doing a huge invade. Now, what they might be trying to do is invade up there in the wolves. They are. They're going to grab Soraka right off the bat. Really good slam in there by Tarek to take that kill in first blood. So fantastic. And sometimes it's really good to give your support that early first blood kill if you can get that invade, because that sets them up with a little bit extra gold so they can get to their GP5 items way faster. And that's really what the trick is. If you can get in their GP5 items right off the bat, that means they can lay down more wards a lot faster. They can get into their supplemental build, and it's good to go. So, and then now that they've kind of set Soraka back, that's going to put her back almost an entire level, almost 2 levels by the time she gets back into lane.
Alrighty, cool. So I'm bringing in Tesla because she's a lot better with League of Legends and stuff than I am. So
it's Tesla.
Are you in, Tesla? Oh, apparently not yet. Alright, well, anyway, so that was the first blood before the minions had even spawned or anything. That was something that I was not expecting at all.
You see that a lot in high elo games.
That you do. It's such a great tactic. I've seen people actually go to the other jungle just to make sure that they're not going to get ganked in their side of the jungle.
You're right, and a good counter tactic to that is to drop a ward by your blue or by your red, so that way when you're being counter jungled, so you can kind of stay in that other jungle and stay out of harm's way. So you're absolutely right, Tesla.
Thank you. All right, this Mundo's taking quite a bit of damage. Are they gonna get that Tarek? No, he gets away.
Yeah, good heal up on him. He did use all of his pots, so he's already used 2 pots in the first 3 minutes, so he was definitely taking some serious damage there.
Yes, but for a 2v3 lane at this moment, that's not that bad, considering that they still came up. They didn't die. They still are pushing them back. They're actually making this opposing team work for it. I don't even know what to call them. The numeric team, maybe?
The numeric team, yeah.
They are the numeric team. That sounds like a good name to call them.
The numero unos. So the numeric team, yeah, that works for me. Yeah, they forced Tarek to go back. Now we see Mundo. Well, no, Tarek decided to not go back. Looks like they may know that they're. Yeah, they see him in there with that ward. Oh, yes. Nice get.
Beautiful cleanup on that Mundo.
Wards, kids. It kills bad guys and saves lives.
Not only that, it gives you the ability to know they're in that brush or not, and that information is vital. Meanwhile, Alistar's just holding mid lane versus LeBlanc, and doing pretty well at it too.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. She took a lot of damage there with passive already activated. For it, he was able to really push that up. If Xerath was just a few steps faster, they probably could have taken that kill too.
That's true. Meanwhile, Jax is also dominating top lane versus Olaf. So far, it looks like the UR tryouts are going really well.
They're looking pretty good. Now can Jax get off? Yeah, he can. Is he going to die to the... Oh, he dies to the Ignite, though. But that's okay. Gets him right underneath the tower. 1-for-1 trade there.
Well, Mundo tried to gank mid during that time. And Alistar was right there. So in the long run, the numeric team took a lot of damage by trying to do that gank.
Yeah, they lost a lot of creep time as well. It kept Mundo out of the jungle. Now that Mundo's back up at top, he could have, if he would a little bit faster, could have gone up there, maybe put a little bit more pressure on that top tower before Alistar had gotten there. But it's all, hindsight stuff right there. But, I think Jax and Olaf, that is one powerful lane up there. They're just dishing out the damage to one another, and they both got the cloth armor. They both have the boots now, so they're really trying to go with a pretty countering build.
Now, when you're talking about countering builds, I have to look at the similarities of the builds here really fast. Take a look at Tarek for UR, and then Soraka for the numeric team. Tarek is actually in the lead. He had the ability to get his Philosopher's Stone and a Vision Ward and a Sight Ward. And that is huge this early in the game, compared to the Soraka, who's on a Fairy Charm, a Regrowth Pendant, and 2 Sight Wards.
Yeah, and you know, they've both been really good about laying down those wards. But you're absolutely right, Tesla. With that sight ward or with that vision ward, he's gonna be able to throw that down up near Dragon, remove any of those wards that have already been placed by Soraka, and that's gonna eliminate that vision and cost Soraka more money.
That it will. And with the placement of those wards, if he actually ends up placing his vision ward right in between the two, he may be able to get both of them. Oh, are they gonna get Soraka? Yes, they are. No.
Oh, clutch heal by Soraka.
Oh my gosh. That was a beautiful move by Corky. Beautiful heal bait by Soraka there.
Yeah, it was good. Drew them into the bush, put the heal on. Corky came around the back and really put it to Tristana before she could hop, jump, and get away.
I thought for sure they were going to have that Soraka. Oh, but Alistar and Xerath coming around behind for bot lane. And they will get that Soraka, almost guaranteed at this point. Oh, babe, yes.
Just barely. She had about a half a second left on that heal.
And they lost Xerath for it. I'm not sure that was exactly worth it. What are your feelings on that?
Yeah, it would have been better if Xerath had just kind of pulled out of there. I think that they should have known that they weren't going to get Corky or LeBlanc or Mundo with that much. Should have just pulled back and gone back into mid lane and you know, gotten some more CS, put a little bit more pressure to pull the rest of them out of that jungle, so it would no longer be a 3v bot lane. But you know, sometimes in the heat of battle, you get that bloodlust going, and sometimes you feel like you gotta do it.
You just gotta do it, exactly. Well, while we've been talking, top lane actually killed each other once again.
Those crazy top laners.
They're always keeping life interesting, aren't they?
Hopping out of that, now Xerath and LeBlanc are still dishing out damage back and forth to one another. LeBlanc running a little short on mana. That might come to hurt her if Xerath decides to put more pressure on her.
She actually got that blue buff, so it's not as terrible as it seems. While the blue buff did get scaled back, it's still going to give her quite a bit of mana regen. It just means she doesn't have the ability to spam.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to spam like the assassin that she is.
But they are about to make sure Xerath can go ahead and harass her to no end by giving him the blue buff. So that'll definitely even out and change the odds in Xerath's favor at this point.
Yeah, very good teamwork here out of Team UR. So far being able to trade off those buffs, getting really good at setting up the ganks when they need to. Although it looks like Jax might be in some trouble here. Mundo's coming up with a little bit of the bait from Olaf there. Gets the slow off there. Can he get in there? Oh, good stun.
That was a beautiful play by Jax right there.
Almost got, almost set up Mundo for a bad opportunity there.
Oh, I thought bot lane was going to be in trouble there for a second. LeBlanc was originally heading down. But now she's going to come up on Xerath. Is she going to get him? No. He ends up activating her passive. And is he going to get that kill? He actually attacked the clone there for a moment. He did force the Soraka heal, though.
That's good. Pop her ult now. That's going to probably hurt. That might hurt Olaf here pretty soon. Alistair's setting up for a little bit of a gank. I don't know if he saw him go into that bush or not.
Meanwhile, Mundo's going to come up and try and do something to Xerath in mid. Is it going to work? It might. No, LeBlanc is dead. And Xerath barely lives.
Ready to live down there and then up at top. Alistair finally came out of the bush to try to get Olaf down at the bottom. Corky was in some serious trouble there with a good Tristana jump and a nice stun there by Tarek. But unfortunately, Soraka was right on top of it with those heals. So we could have saw some very, very damaging stuff. Now there goes Tristana again with the jump in off the stun, but still can't get them. They're doing really well staying underneath that tower. That's very good protection from them.
Now the interesting thing to note, despite how great Tristana has been doing and Tarek have been doing and trying to keep that pressure up, Corky is actually ahead in CS. He's got 2 kills versus the 1 kill, 1 assist Tristana has. And if I recall correctly, each kill is like 25 CS. So in the long run, Corky's actually further ahead at this moment.
Definitely, he's definitely a little bit further ahead. Up on top, we saw that Jax had actually gotten Olaf down pretty low, got the ignite off on him, but unfortunately was not able to close out that kill before Olaf went back. But yeah, it looks like we might be seeing a little bit of dragon play coming up here, either with Alistair and Xerath, but it looks like they might go for LeBlanc again.
That definitely is what it looks like. I mean, we should see some dragon play within the next 3 minutes, so that's about typical timing.
Yeah, once they clear out that middle, maybe a little bit of bot, yeah, they'll be free and clear
they
to do
forced
that.
her to flash. Beautiful stunt. Oh, what a great play by both Alistar and Xerath right there.
Yeah, definitely rolled the dice, hit the right one with the run-in, so very good job there by Alistair. Down at bot, Corky taking a little bit of needless damage there. May need to get out. Oh, good throwback there from
For Tristana, yeah, that was beautiful. Beautiful jump, too. Because there's no way that Mundo can afford to continue tower diving too much. Not this early.
No,
but it looks like they're going to go and try and take Dragon out, and there is possibly no way to contest it at this moment. But Xerath and Jax are aware that this is about right timing.
They're definitely going to move in for it. Even they don't have any vision. Now they do.
Now they do, yes. Well, they forced them off Dragon. That right there is already a good sign. The problem is their health bars are pretty low.
Yeah, now they're going to dive in and out. It's going to be who can throw in the last little hit there. Corky's going to try for it. Jax, Tristana, and Tarek are the ones that are doing battle with it. Jax going to jump out of the pit there.
And
are they going
to gets it?
Yeah, there you go.
But they're all really low for getting that dragon. They just lost Tarek. They're going to lose Jax. And they may even lose Xerath and Tristana at this point. Xerath barely gets away.
Barely, yeah. That Olaf being completely full health just really was the doomsday device right there. He was able to take those tower hits right from the start to close out Tristana. So
ultimately, do you feel that 3 kills or 3 deaths for Dragon is worth it this early in the game?
I would say no, not this early in the game, especially not from your AD carry right there, and maybe 2. I would have maybe said Jax and Tarek would have been worth it, but not when you lose your AD carry.
Well, it looks like they may also lose bot lane to add insult to injury.
That is very insulting.
Oh, they are going to lose it. Last hit being done by Soraka. But on the bright side, that means that Tristana and Tarek should be able to get some free farming done.
Yeah, they'll have a lot more room to breathe now. Get in there. Mundo was taking some serious hits. Was he? Oh, wow. He almost died to red buff.
Jax and Olaf are going at it again at top. And even though Olaf clearly has more health, Jax is dealing out quite a bit of damage and got him down to a decent amount.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's really helping him out right now is he does have that Wriggles Lantern, so he's going to have that armor, he's going to have that damage, and he's got that lifesteal, so it's perfect for him. And now down at bot, just taking pop shots back and forth at that tower while Corky and Soraka just kind of hang out back there. They're watching their back flank this time. Very smart of Soraka. Last time they really ran into some issue with Alistair popping out from behind them, so they're going to lay that ward down. That's really good. It may be a ward. Sometimes you might think it's a little bit useless, but one time is just about enough to get ganked from behind from an Alistair.
I agree, but it looks like Jax, oh no, he doesn't. He does skip death this time. He looked like he was going to die there for a moment, but got away from the Olaf.
Yep, very, very good. He's getting really good at that bait and run on Olaf. I think at some point Olaf's luck may run out, and he may run just a little bit too close to that tower.
It might, yes. Now, The Mundo is now sitting in the jungle. Alistar is right behind him. And there is the Corki Soraka. And Alistar is in quite a bit of trouble at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be feeling good. Oh. Wow, good flash out by LeBlanc. Dies to Tristana, though.
I also like the stun that the Xerath had done. Xerath needs to be very careful here. I like his long range, his ability to poke like that and still assist his team despite being almost dead. Tristana getting a great kill on Soraka, and they're following up on the Corki, and they get him.
Wow, really good team fight.
That is almost an ace right there.
Yep, 4 for 1. Olaf came in to see if he could help out, but he was not into the main foray. But now he's going to have to battle Tristana and Taric mid if they decide to go in on him. I don't think that these two are going to be able to deal out enough damage to take out that Olaf before he has an opportunity to back up to that tower's protection.
I agree. And so we're going to go ahead and see Tristana actually go down to bot lane and continue trying to farm up and build up her items at this point because she needs it.
Yeah, she sure does. Now we're going to see Corki and Soraka come back into the bottom lane. Mundo's going back into the jungle, going to be taking out those Wraiths. LeBlanc just kind of dancing around the tower at the moment and helping out poor good old Mundo there for a little bit, getting some extra cash.
Now I like this. Both teams are doing a great job of having map coverage in regards to wards.
They're really good.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say we see both offensive and defensive wards from both sides, and that's really great to see.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. Is they both have them like in really good positions, covering their ramps. They're also covering a lot of their precious buffs. Now Alistar's going to go in to try to get that LeBlanc. Might have to give up the chase here. Mundo's now in there. Could Xerath fall? He might. Is really low.
But with the Xerath falling, Jax may fall as well. Is he going to get the LeBlanc? It's very close. Oh, no, he's not. And chasing got him killed there.
Good little hat trick from LeBlanc there. And Mundo even got away, and Mundo was down below about 150 health, so he was in a really good position to be taken out, but unfortunately Tristana or Taric were around to seal the deal.
So we're going to go ahead and see Soraka and Corki try and pressure mid-turret as much as they can here, as well as their opponents. With this placement of the ward for UR, I believe they can see that blue buff is up. But as we say that, it looks like LeBlanc and Corki and Soraka are getting ready to go into position to take it. So I think we're going to see UR come into position and prepare to go and fight them, because following that should be a dragon buff.
Absolutely, yeah. Dragon is right on top of that. If they can get that blue buff, it's going to set them up perfectly. Mundo throws in the axe, knows that Alistar's there. Alistar's going to run in, pops up LeBlanc. Corki sets off the machine guns. Can he get blue? No. Oh, Jax steals it. Oh, nice job. Good lockdown.
Play. And this Olaf, he's doing a lot of damage. He might get the Xerath. He gets the Xerath, but they get the Olaf. They still have the Mundo and the rest of the team to worry about, though.
Yeah, there was a...
Almost down. Mundo is about to fall. Mundo's down. But Alistar's low. Tristana's low. Jax is low. And with only Alistar alive to fight versus a LeBlanc and a Soraka, he might be dead.
He might be, but he's doing pretty good at getting away so far if he can continue up and heal himself up. Oh, LeBlanc! Can she get him?
She's gonna see where he is. Oh no, he goes away from the ward. What a beautiful juke he did there. Just continuing to outrun them, outmaneuver them, and deny them that additional kill.
That was very unexpected. I really thought that Livingston was going to go down there to LeBlanc.
So did I. So did I.
very good outrun there. But, you know, I got to give it to LeBlanc and to Soraka staying up on top of it. But unfortunately, Soraka falls to Xerath coming back into lane. She was trying to farm up just a little bit, but that was not going to help her out. I don't think that the couple CS that she got was worth that death to her there. It looks like Mundo and Olaf are going to go for this dragon. Tarek's going to come in behind. May not see it.
Nearby. They got dragon. So that's one dragon for UR, one dragon for Numeric now.
Yep, it's 1 for 1 so far. Tarek got saved.
Tarek is pretty low.
Oh, good shot there. But yeah, that Tarek was almost in some serious trouble. If Xerath hadn't been there to try to stop that dragon, he would have been completely dead. But Xerath gave them a little bit of pause by hitting him up with that stun. Allowed his teammate to get away, and it was a 0-for-0 trade on that. So all they did was lose a dragon at this point. Although they may lose this mid tower here to Olaf and LeBlanc, putting some serious damage on it. Nope, Jax is going to be there just in time. Excuse me, to save it.
The interesting thing to note is that the game is actually very close. It's 15-14. 2 turrets down for UR, which is the only reason, or part of the only reason, that Numeric has a bit of a gold advantage at this moment.
Yeah, not by much. I mean, only by about 0.7k. So yeah, you're right. It's just it's that little bit. It's the dragon and the 2 towers that are really making that difference for them.
But that little bit can make a big difference.
It sure can. I mean, even looking at their CS, I mean, there's 3 of them that are above 100, and there's only 2 of them above 100. Tristan and Xerath for UR. But now they finally get a turret there in mid. Are they going to press for a little bit more action? No, doesn't look like it, but they're pinging to go for Alistair.
Livingston could go down here.
Oh, yeah. Big hit right there.
And so could Sparta. Sparta's down. Livingston being chased off by the Mundo and dies.
Oh, no.
The Tark and the Jax are both low. The Tark may also die.
May go down to LeBlanc. Yep.
Oh,
she's going to get him.
Beautiful cleanup by LeBlanc.
Nice hit right there. Yeah, I was really surprised that Olaf went down first, but a 4v1 trade right there. Perfect. Now they're going to be able to take this mid turret, no problem whatsoever. Mundo's like, forget it, I'm Mundo. I'm going to tank this. But unfortunately, Xerath is there to do just a little bit more damage, forcing him to go back a little bit. But, you know, he's Mundo. He's going to heal up. Mundo dies when he wants to die.
That was a beautiful play by Numeric at this point. And as for Mundo, well, you know the saying, Mundo goes where Mundo pleases.
That's right, he sure does. And now Xerath still defending off that mid tower from the evils of the creep wave, and it looks like we might see a Baron try here by UR.
I'm gonna pop and actually make a voice and appearance and say that it kind of looks like the Numeric team is getting a snowball advantage. Like just small little things that seem to all of a sudden catapult them to having like a 3k goal lead, a couple big kills, and then that 4-for-1 trade I think has given them a decisive advantage in my newbie thoughts.
Well, that's actually very true, because if you take a look at Tark only has 1 gold per 5. He's already got his Shrillius because they absolutely needed it. Whereas Soraka, they don't need the Shrillius at the moment. So Soraka is sitting on 2 gold per 5 items. They have Mundo on a 1 gold per 5 item. They've got LeBlanc on a 1 gold per 5 item, and this big engagement going on right now.
Yeah, huge one. Corky's going to go ahead and take down Xerath. They ran really low. Olaf's going to take down Jax. Oh, Olaf with a double kill.
Wolf. And
nice.
That is exactly what the Numeric team wanted. So UR was going to possibly try and do a Baron bait there, but in the long run, ended up getting themselves killed and surrendering.
Yeah, once you suffer a huge wipe like that, they're going to get Baron, push that mid, and it's all but over at that point, because they'll just continue to push your bottom tower. So I think this was a good choice there by UR. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the 5,000 gold difference.
Yeah,
16 to
huge goal
22.
difference.
Wow.
Oof.
That was brutal.
That was, and it looked so good from the start. You know, it looked like it was going to be a pretty good even match game, and then it was like one little thing, and then one little thing, and then the next thing you know, a lot of little things make a huge snowball, just like the Wild Xander said. And all of a sudden, woo, just snowballed out of control. And unfortunately, the sun had to come out on UR and melt the snowman.
Apparently so. Well, very intense game.
Do you think there was there a turning point? Or was it really just little tiny things at the beginning, or was there a big point?
There were quite a few things that could have gone differently. One thing, as a player myself, never once did I see Tarek get an Oracles. Tarek knew they were placing wards. It is like the cardinal rule of being a support. You know they're going to place wards, and eventually, you know, they're going to respond to your movements, and you're going to be able to tell. So you should be ultimately trying to clear those up. Going ahead and making the Shrilias as early as he did, I don't agree with that. He needed the gold per 5.
I'm right there with you. At least get a pick or a heart of gold. One of those two would have been really good. I think a heart of or a pick would have been better. That would have given him a much better healing rating. Because his survivability was great. We didn't see him really dying all that often because he was saving himself with really good stuns and with some really good heals in there. So, you know, I'm right there with you, Tesla. He really should have gotten another GP5. Maybe gotten that cooldown set beforehand with that, because I can't remember off the top of my head what that's called for some silly reason. But gotten the second part.
Gotten the gem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the gem. That would have really helped. That would have given him more health. That would have given him some cooldown reduction and set him up perfectly for that. Yeah, I'm right. I totally agree. He did not need the Shrilias that soon. They weren't in big enough team engagements where they were all having to retreat quickly, because usually they would retreat for about a second and then go right back in, and then that's what was really costing them, is that they were kind of seeing that they could pull them out, try to get a better position, and then go back in, and then it really wasn't working out for them.
All right, there's another question that I'm seeing from just looking at the kill death ratios and everything for the two teams, is that there's almost twice the assists from the purple team than what UR had.
The assists are great, but what that means is that literally there was some point in the game, and that was, I would say, shortly around the 15-minute mark, I think. Sounds about right. Is when the Numeric team started traveling as a group of 3 or a full group of 5. Almost never were they split off. Whereas UR was here, they were there, they were trying to roam or trying to farm, trying to push, and in the long run, getting caught out of position because they didn't have enough map awareness. I mean, they had some great map awareness early game. They had a lot of wards down. They not once went for the counter wards. They never got the oracles once again. They never took out the vision that the other team had. And they knew, to some extent, it was there. You could see it by their play. When they went towards the Baron area, that could have been prevented, once again, by an oracles. By an oracles and word placements. But this actually... And it sounds terrible to place blame, but a lot of that goes onto the support player's shoulders. It really does. What are your thoughts on that, though?
No, I completely agree. I mean, if you just looking at the at the KDR for Tarek and Soraka, 1-4 and 16 versus 1-4 and 7. You know, that right there tells you, even though that Soraka can use that universal ult to heal up and get those assists, that just means that, you know, that she was able to help out her team a lot more. She was able to travel, and we saw a couple of times where she did that really clutch heal bait. In there, we saw it at the bottom lane to claim Tristana's life and almost take Tarek out at the same time. But, you know, Tarek, without the help of that other GP5, you're right, he didn't have that oracle, so he couldn't clean out the house. And you know, we saw Soraka laying 2 wards in Lower River. I mean, you usually lay one in High River around Dragon and another one in the Tri-Bush, or you maybe lay one in the bush and maybe a little bit up near towards your own personal ramp for your jungle's sake. But You hardly ever see somebody spend those two wards simultaneously that early on in the game. That just tells you that Soraka had complete economic control of what she knew what she was going to do. And when she didn't see an Oracle's pop up, she was just laying wards absolutely everywhere. Blue team ran a little short, to be honest with you. I mean, you had I wanted to say who was it? It was their mid was trying to run around with
LeBlanc.
LeBlanc, yeah. Sorry, thank you.
Yes.
LeBlanc was running on with wards to try to help out.
Actually, one thing I noticed about that, and this is something that I play 3 different roles when I play. I don't know if, I'm assuming you're a player just based on your knowledge here, but as a player myself, I play ranged AD, I play the support, and I play AP mid. And what kind of gets me is you can see in LeBlanc's build that she was getting dominated by Xerath. She had to get the gold per 5. She only had a death cap, that gold per 5, and her Dorans. That's all the AP she had.
Yeah,
So
and
it
that
makes
was
you question why, what was going through her head at that point. Because apparently, she felt she couldn't do a whole lot in regards to one-on-one. But she felt she could help out the team as a whole by, instead of continuing to invest wholly into the build, that she'd go ahead and buy some wards and place them around. And it helps her when she places them around.